You're scrolling through Instagram stories and then bam, you see something so shocking, so rebellious, so completely against everything you thought you knew about the Duggar family that you have to screenshot it immediately. That's exactly what happened this week with Joanna Duggar. Yes, that Joanna from the ultra-conservative family that wouldn't even let their daughters wear jeans. Let me give you the background, because the Duggar family weren't your typical large family. They were hardcore members of the Institute in Basic Life Principles created by Minister Bill Gothard. This organization had rules for everything: who you could date, what you could wear, what music you could listen to. The women had to be covered from neck to ankle in loose, shapeless outfits. They couldn't even wear pants because apparently that was too masculine. Michelle Duggar taught her girls that if men had impure thoughts because of how they dressed, that was somehow their fault. Can you imagine? Joanna, who's 27 now, is the 5th Duggar daughter. She was the tomboy, loved construction work, getting dirty. But even she had to follow these insane modesty rules growing up. She married Austin Forsyth in 2017, and they've been through a lot. They have 3 kids, Gideon, Evelyn, and Gunnar. They also tragically lost their daughter Annabelle in 2019. Joanna has been incredibly open about struggling with postpartum depression, calling it the darkest time of my life. She's been separating herself from those strict IBLP beliefs lately. Last year, she made an emotional YouTube video begging people to see her as an individual instead of just lumping her in with the whole Duggar brand. So with all of that context about how incredibly strict her upbringing was, let me tell you what Joanna posted that has the entire internet losing their minds. Joanna Duggar posted a photo to her Instagram stories showing off her recent underwear shopping haul. Yes, underwear. This is the same family where showing your shoulders was scandalous. And here's Joanna, casually posting a picture of 4 pairs of ruffled underwear by Danskin, recommending them like she's a lifestyle influencer. The caption? Just got these no-show underwear, and they are 10 out of 10. Then she added, also love the little edging detail about the scallop trim. But it gets even more rebellious. She shared the links so followers could buy them too. I'm imagining Michelle Duggar's reaction, and I literally cannot. This woman made her daughters wear layered tank tops under everything, and now her daughter is giving underwear recommendations. Obviously, the internet had opinions. Reddit users were going feral. One person said Michelle was probably hyperventilating into a brown paper bag over this post, and that has me cackling. But here's what's fascinating. This isn't really about underwear. This is about Joanna reclaiming control over her own body after spending 20+ years having every decision made for her. For her entire childhood, other people controlled what she wore, how she presented herself, what was appropriate to share. And now she's making her own choices about underwear and sharing it with followers. To most of us, that's normal. But in her context, revolutionary. Let's talk specifics, because details matter. These aren't scandalous Victoria's Secret pieces. Joanna posted about Danskin no-show underwear with scalloped edges. Danskin is as mainstream as it gets. This is Target-level underwear. The fact she mentioned no-show shows she's thinking practically about panty lines. The edging detail is just decorative trim. This is the most innocent underwear post possible. But because of her background, even this becomes shocking rebellion. When posting about regular Target underwear is considered scandalous, that shows how extreme her childhood was. This represents Joanna's journey figuring out her identity separate from family expectations. Growing up so controlled means you never explore who you are. Every choice follows group rules rather than personal values. She's essentially going through delayed adolescence, figuring out her identity in public with thousands analyzing every choice. That's incredibly difficult. But she keeps making authentic choices, even knowing they'll cause drama. That takes serious courage, especially considering her mental health struggles, the postpartum depression, grief from losing Annabelle, deconstructing childhood beliefs. When you're taught your worth comes from following rules perfectly, struggling with depression or making different choices feels like failing your entire purpose. But Joanna seems to realize her worth isn't dependent on meeting other standards. I think about her siblings processing these choices. Some stayed close to parents' beliefs, others distanced themselves. Jill's been vocal about breaking away, wearing pants, drinking alcohol, public school for kids. Anna still follows traditional lifestyle despite scandals. Joanna's finding middle ground, not completely rejecting family or faith, but not letting expectations control everything. That's probably healthiest. Complete rebellion can be as problematic as complete compliance. There's interesting generational clash here. Joanna grew up as social media exploded, but parents' modesty standards predate Instagram. Her generation sees sharing online as normal community building. Parents see this openness as inappropriate. Does social media make breaking from restrictive backgrounds easier or harder? Curious your thoughts. Looking forward, I think Joanna will continue prioritizing mental health and authenticity over family expectations. This post feels like crossing a psychological line with no return. Once you start making decisions based on what feels right for you versus others' expectations, it gets easier. Like building muscle. Her openness will help others from similar backgrounds. Seeing someone model maintaining family relationships while living authentically gives permission for others to consider changes. Socially, she'll probably lean into this authenticity. The response, support, and criticism shows there's audience for her being real about life. Will there be family drama? Probably. Disappointed IBLP community members? Definitely. But Joanna seems to prioritize well-being over managing others' reactions. That's psychologically healthy. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this deep dive. Subscribe for more celebrity family content. My take: Joanna's underwear post represents way more than product recommendation. It's a symbol of reclaiming autonomy after growing up with every aspect controlled. Rebellious? Maybe. Authentic? Definitely. In a world constantly telling us to be someone else, there's something beautiful about choosing genuine, living despite complications and drama. Joanna's figuring out who she is separate from who she was told to be. If that includes recommending comfortable underwear, then honestly, you go, girl. What's your take? Team Joanna or too far? Drop honest thoughts. We can disagree respectfully. Keep living your truth. Beautiful souls.